We're here with the legendary Travis Gibbs. How you doing, Travis?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. Everything good your way?
Yeah. You know, this isolation and holding myself, get a lot done, get a lot of writing done, which is great. So it's been good, actually. As a writer, it's not so bad. The day job is not so busy, so I get to work on my arts.
Well, that's good. So, tell us about the inspiration of Broke Down and Four Dead Bodies.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was in film school, and I had to write a film short. So I wrote a story about breaking down with Four Dead Bodies. It's based off of, have you ever read Stray Bullets, the comic book? I'm trying to see if I have a copy here.
I have not.
Okay, so Stray Bullets is by Dave Lepan. He's done over 300 issues of the book. That's probably not right, because Spawn just did the 300, but like 200 something issues. A lot of issues. So in the first issue, it's about this mentally handicapped kid who murders a whole bunch of people and has them in the back seat of his car, and then he just leaves the bodies there and walks off. And I was like, wow, that kind of really inspired me. What if somebody broke down with a whole bunch of dead bodies? What kind of scenario would that end? So I built the Broke Down universe to kind of talk about that. So Broke Down, Four Dead Bodies, the title of the book is Broke Down. Four Dead Bodies is kind of like the subtitle. So this is a 4-issue mini. We just finished Kickstarter for 3, so that's being sent out. So issue 3 is done. I'm working on 4 now. We just got the cover released and everything for that. And basically after that, after we're done with that 4-issue miniseries, it then goes into Broke Down and other things. So Broke Down and Tapped Out is a wrestling story. It's all crime-based, but there's Broke Down and Tapped Out. Broke Down and Freaked Out, which is like a horror-based. Broke Down and Patched In, which is a 2-parter, which is first part is punk rock, and the second part is like motorcycle gang. So we're building this universe, and they're all connected, leading into a year from, well, after we get 12 issues out, it's going to be Broke Down and Locked Up, where a lot of these characters are all going to be locked up together. We're going to tell a story based off of that. But Broke Down and Four Dead Bodies is the first one.
Wow. I can't wait to see what comes out of this. It sounds good. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Tell us a couple other books that you've worked on. You was telling me before the interview, and I don't know. I don't know if everybody knows your work. I mean, like, I know Broke Down is a big book, but let's talk about some of your other.
Yeah, Broke Down is my biggest book. So my first book I ever worked on was Government Body. So I did a 5-page backup in the back of this. It's a crime story. I did this in 2003. So this is my first book in 2003. I then did an anthologies in this book called Mirrors, called Hieroglyphs. That's not even around anymore. Negative Burns, which is an Image book. It's an anthology book for Image. Negative Burn, which you may not know of. Have you ever heard of it before?
I have not.
So this is a great thing for those who are diamond, hunters for great comic books. Negative Burns has been around for years. It's where Neil Gaiman came from. It's where Alan Moore came from, Brian Michael Bendis. All these guys wrote for this in short stories because they would take a lot of different works. It was used to be published by Caliber Comics, and then got published by Image, and then went to Desperado. I happen to be in one of the last issues. This is the second and last issue. So that's really cool. In fact, who's in here? Jewel Rivera. Not a lot of people are doing stuff in my particular issue, but a lot of people have done stuff.
Right.
And then I got Parallels, which is my Parallels. I take all my short stories that I put in anthologies and I put them together in a book. This is volume 1. I've got a volume 2 that's coming out later this year. And they're just kind of short stories that kind of get people into my writing style. And then I, with a couple other people, created The Advocator. Have you ever heard of The Advocator?
I have not. I apologize, Travis.
You're going to love this, man. Like, this is really cool. So what it is, so it's 6 different stories. Can you see all 6?
Yeah.
So what it is, it's four different shots. So I know you had Chuck on the other day. Chuck's Welcome to the Void has a story in this. My Broke Down has a story in this. And what it is we take people's franchises, and we've done it 3 times. We did it all last year. And we put them in a book. And these are exclusive stories to The Advocator. But what we do it for is for these independent guys who cannot get a book out, and it takes a long time for it. It helps you to get a little bit of momentum with your story. So Chuck's Biles in here. Zombies, Zombie Full World of Oz. For people who are Kickstarter guys, a lot of these books were funded last year. So this helps get this out to people and get people known. Rob's Barbara Alicia's in here. All sorts of really cool stuff. So we did 3 issues of that. We're doing one this year as well, but it's going to be a trade.
Oh, wow. How does people get that book?
Oh,
can they request it?
Yeah, you can order it on my website on baroquedown4deadbodies.com, but you can also go to the Advocator Facebook group. Just message, hey, you want it. It's a Kickstarter exclusive, but any of the creators can sell it to you. What's really cool about it, so let's say you're a creator, Cody, which I think you're planning on doing something this year, right? You're talking about it? I saw some hints that you may be working on something.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it off the ground.
So any of the creators can print they all get, when we fund the Kickstarter, no money goes to anybody. So nobody's greedy on this. We literally print books to ship out to the Kickstarter people, and then all the rest of the money is used to print books that are shipped out to all the creators. And then they can resell them at cons, they can do whatever they want with them. It's a really cool way for us to give back. We even do like exclusive covers. So this is like an exclusive cover for one of my stories called Reapers, which is really cool.
I like that cover.
Yeah. It's pretty dope. I like demons and stuff like that. Those are Grim Reapers. But yeah, so that's a really cool thing that we do to give back to the community, because it sometimes takes a while. You have 1 and 2 there. You have issue 3. That's 2018, end of 2018. I only got 1 out in 2019 because my dad died and a whole bunch of other stuff. And then you get issue 3 in 2020. So that's 1 book a year. That helped me get other books out to get people still thinking about Broke Down and reading about Broke Down.
Right. All right. That's pretty cool that y'all do that. So what's the hardest part about writing? Like, what advice would you give to a new writer?
Don't start. Don't start. There's enough of us doing it.
All right.
The hardest part about writing is really fitting it into the structure. There's a 3-act structure that you got to write to, and making it that work. When you're doing comics, specifically comics, every book needs a 3-act structure. So you need to do a lot versus like a graphic novel where I could do the whole thing out. I have to have the 3-act structure in every issue. So that's the hardest part, is learning what that is. And what that is having reveals. So if you're writing a comic, the biggest advice I can give you, every 5 pages, something has to happen. So something drastic happens. And if you look at any of my books, every 5 pages, something happens to move the story forward. Because if you're not moving forward every 5 pages, that's a rule of thumb, right? It could be 6 pages, 4 pages, but it's got to be within a short amount of time that something has to move forward, or you're not getting the momentum that you need.
All right.
So that's my advice.
Okay. Tell us about the Kickstarter process, because I know a lot of people are intimidated by it.
Yeah. It's hard. It's really, really hard. I know great books that have failed to even launch. The thing of Kickstarter is you've got to build something that people want to be in, and you've got to build a fan base before you get there. And that's the hard part, right? People are like, oh, I want my book out. I need your help. Well, if you don't have a fan base, nobody's going to know about it. So you can't just share it with your friends and family. And if you do, if you want to keep it small. Keep a $500 goal. You can print 1 book for $7 over at Kablam. So it's not like you need a lot of money, really. It's just paying the artist and letterer and colorist. All that is where if you want to make back your money, that's where it's a lot of work. Hold on. Corona.
Right? You took the words right out of my
mouth. So when you build it, build a plan for it. If you'll notice, the ones that are successful, they have a few key elements. One, they have a lot of pages done and their stuff looks professional, meaning it has the trade dress that shows it's ready to go and the book looks done. The other thing they do is they'll have a menu on it of what's in the Kickstarter, not just using the sidebar, but they actually show what people are getting. People are visual people. That's why Amazon does so well. If everything said image not there, they're not going to sell their product.
Right.
My Kickstarters go up and up and up. My first one was $4,000 with 150 backers. Second one was a little bit lower than that, but my dad died, so that's what I counted. And so 3,500 with 156 backers. Then my last was 180 backers, $3,770. So I keep going up and up. My backers increase. So that means I'm building a fan base that's going to grow with me. The biggest thing is there's a lot of people who will help you with your Kickstarter, ask for help. Make it look professional. Make it look ready to go. And if you're not willing to do that, if you're not willing to put the work in there, people aren't going to believe that they're going to get their book. So why would they fund you?
Right. So when somebody funds you, when do they get the book? When the crowdfunding is over? Like,
yeah, so it depends on the person. So some people will fund before their book's done. I don't tend to do that, or I tend to do at least late game. So for issue, let's use my issue 3 for example. All the physical art was done, so all the black and whites were done. They needed to be colored. So the minute the book's funded, I get in 2 weeks I get the money, and then I can start printing the books when I get the money. So it normally takes about a month to get everything situated to send everything out. But some people will just do 5 pages of the book and then do the book, as and give a deadline of this, and they'll use that money to help fund everything. So it's really up to the individual person, but you'll notice that the people who can get the books out faster for their Kickstarter tend to do better. So meaning they got a lot of the work done because people keep it tell.
All right. And somebody else told me, I forget who said this, but I just want your opinion on it. They said comics aren't profitable. Don't quit your day job and get into comics. Just try to get your stories out. Do you agree with that statement?
Yeah, exactly. I'm still over/under on comics, but there is a time that it is profitable. So all right. So let's go my Broke Down series. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm basically break even now, and that's with pretty decent numbers. I'm breaking even. My goal is 2,500. It actually cost me about 3,200 to make the book. That's how much it cost me to make the book. That's not counting printing or anything, because I have to pay my colors, my letter. My corona is really bad today. To get all that stuff going. I haven't coughed at all until this interview, just for the record. But when I get the trade and I do the trade on Kickstarter, I don't have to pay anybody anymore except for to put it together. So that's when I get to make money. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be rich, but I have to do 4 issues before I can even make a dime, really.
Right. All right. Who would you like to work with in the comic book world?
In the comic book world, you guys, or you're talking pro?
Either or. Let's make it even more a little bit interesting. Dead or alive? Who would you like to work with?
Dead or alive?
Yeah, if you could put a team together of Travis's dream team to make a comic book, who would it be?
And I get to write it?
Yep.
All right, cool. So obviously Jim Lee. You want Jim Lee? Yeah, there's no other. He's the single best artist in the world. Like I know. I know who everyone's thinking. I get it. Old school, but I love modern comics. I love Jim Lee, so I want Jim Lee to work on my team. I want my editor to be probably Brian Michael Bendis. I know he doesn't do editing, but I'd want him. I like him, and I have a very similar feel on dialogue, so I think he would get me and be able to get that. The book I would want to work on, I would probably want to revamp Darkhawk. I really feel I can make that book popular. Obviously my dream would be X-Men or Avengers or something like that. But if I had to start small, I'd want to do Darkhawk. I'd want to do like an edgy Darkhawk. Get that out there. Try to compete. I mean, comics are so great right now. Donny Cates is killing it with his Venom and his Thor. Jason Aaron is killing it with Avengers. I'm a Marvel guy at heart, so I'd love to work on that. If we talk like the indie space, so people who are more achievable to work for, I'd like to work with Mr. Hellboy himself, Mike Mignola. I'd love to work on a horror book with him. Some angels and demon type of stuff would be really cool. I'd love to get his art. If I was a publisher, though, I'd have Neil Gaiman write anything, whatever he wants. I would just be like, here, just write something, and I will cash my paycheck. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. What are you currently reading? Are you currently reading any books? Weekly, bi-weekly, monthly?
Oh, my friend, I read a lot of books. I read all the books. So let me give you an idea. I spend about $35 a week on comics, but I get a 70% discount. So my stack is big every week. So when we're talking about Marvel and DC, let's go. We'll go through the gambit. All right, we'll go. So my top Marvel books right now, we'll do top 5. Venom, Thor, like we just talked about, Avengers, Ghost Rider, and then I really like Runaways. I think Runaways is back up to where it used to be with Josh Whedon. So those are my top 5 for Marvel right now. DC, we got Batman. Batman's killing it over there.
Yeah.
JLA's starting to pick up where it's themed. I like where Flash is going. Nightwing, believe it or not, is really good. I know that this Dick Grace, Don't Call Me Dick and Rick Grayson thing is kind of weird, but it's coming out the other end of that. It's getting good. So bear that. And then Young Justice. I love all those young superheroes. For Image, we've got Oblivion Song. I really like that. From Robert Kirkman. We've got Undiscovered Country. That's really good. Yeah. Scout Comics, I like them all. Source Point Press, I like Ogres. I think you just did a review on Ogres, right?
Yep. Yep, it was a couple of reviews ago from Source Point Press.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love them. I love for indie, I love White Ash. I love Electric Black from Scout. Both of those are big ones. Savage Bastards. I don't know if you've read that book, Savage Bastards from Mad Cave Studios.
I haven't read that.
Well, I'll get you that one sent. That needs to be a review for you. That is one of the best books on the market. Just came out last month. Okay. Really, really good. What else do I got? I've got tons of stuff, man. I read so many comics.
Wow. Have you heard about Shit Show?
I have not heard about Shit Show. Who makes Shit Show?
We'll talk about that one after the interview, but that's a book you need to keep your eye on.
I actually got to show you something. I got to go to my bedroom and show you something because I know you're a big pop fan, and I think I've got something really cool that you'd like to see. Can you wait a second?
Well, yeah, we'll just wrap the interview up real quick, or do you want to show it?
No. People will want to see this. You just talk for a second. I'll go grab it. I have custom pops of Randy and Denver from the comic.
Oh, wow, yeah. We'll wait.
Want to see those? Let's do them. Hold on. Give me a second. Right. Just talk.
Yeah, and as y'all know, guys, Travis broke down in 2 dead bodies. We did this is one of our very first comic reviews that we did. Travis trusted us with his books. Y'all should check them out on Kickstarter. I'm gonna put all of these books is gonna be down in the description. There should be an information card up there for this review. I'm sorry it took so long to get Travis on for an interview.
He's doing great.
Yeah.
I know you're a pop guy, so I wanted to show you these. I meant to bring them out before. So this.
Oh, man.
Your glare.
That's so cool.
You want me to take them out? Let me take them out. Let me take them out so you can see them. So these were made by my wife. My wife is crazy and makes cool things for me. This is
one of one?
What's that? Yeah. These are custom made.
Wow.
Look at that detail.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're one of one. They're handmade. The guy who makes these is really, really famous. He's All-Star Custom Fit Pops. He makes pops for like Bruno Mars, Christina Aguilera, like celebrities. I mean, my wife, she won't tell me how much she spent on here, but on the website, they're at least $250 a piece. So,
ooh.
She apparently wants me to not know because I would probably be mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, custom pops, and they're really, really cool. Let me pull this one out.
Wow, man, that's awesome. She did that for you.
Yeah, aren't they cool?
That's awesome. Yeah, and the box looks official. Like it looks like an official pop box.
Yeah. What's really cool about it too is so the comic takes place in Canyon City. So 719 is the area code for Canyon City, which is cool. And then their sister town is Denver, which the character's name is Denver, 720. So which is really, really cool. But yeah, the whole pops are it's all designed. The sides, the back. Wow.
I love that, man. That's cool. Thank you for sharing that with us. That's
yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yep.
I know you love pops.
Right here, I'm gonna show people the card of what they look like.
Yeah.
There they are. That's the pops he just showed us. yeah. Do you have anything else that you want to tell us? Anything new coming up, or
let's talk about. Well, I got a Kickstarter live right now, so I got Cthulhu's Hard to Spell. This is a page from it. You were mentioning it earlier. That's a page from it right there. It's called Cats of Uthar. So we just broke the $30,000 mark on that Kickstarter, which is really, really, really cool. That's a really good anthology. I just got accepted in the second Why Faith anthology book, so that's coming out. We're working on Reapers, and then we have a really cool one that I haven't announced, but I have an all-star team, a lot of indie guys. I see Richard Rivera back there. He's in the book.
Yeah.
Chuck's in the book. I'm in the book. We got Kurt Bletcher from Source Point Press. We've got Carl Moline, the guy who created Frey for Buffy. We've got a whole bunch of creators, and it's Cthulhu versus Wizard of Oz. So it's an invasion story where Cthulhu invades Wizard of Oz, and everyone has a little story in it. Joel Rodriguez is in it. Freak Show Princess, I know you're a big fan. Jonathan's in it. So everyone's got a character, and it shows an invasion story, and it's really, really dope. That's going to be on Kickstarter in October. Oh, you're frozen. He's frozen. I don't know if he can hear me or I can hear him. Hopefully that'll stop. He looks super excited, or maybe he's just paused. I don't know.
All right. Sorry, I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Funny thing is, whatever you did on the other side, people can see that in the interview. So if you want me to, I can keep it in, but I'm going to be frozen where whatever pose I was doing.
I was just being funny about you being frozen, so it won't be a problem.
All right, I'll leave it in. Yeah, tell us about the story you was telling us, Cthulhu versus Wizard of Oz.
Yes. So basically what I've done is I handpicked the best creators that I know who would work with me. And each of them gets a character. So, for instance, Jonathan Hendricks, the guy who does Freak Show Princess, he gets Tin Man. So he wrote a Tin Man story. I have Dorothy. I wrote a Dorothy story. Joel Rodriguez gets Cthulhu. And everyone's showing the invasion of what happens when Cthulhu invades Oz. It's an anthology, but it's all one story. It has a beginning, middle, and end, which is really, really cool. So I'm super excited to get that out in October. That's going to be a huge book. We're expecting to be the biggest Kickstarter for my company, which is really, really cool. That Reaper story that I showed you, that's going to be a full story this year, so that's exciting. Then I got I'm working on a couple other scripts because of the storm that hopefully I'll get out this year as well.
All right, yeah, definitely let me know about that Cthulhu book. I'm really interested in that. I'd love to read that.
Yeah, it'll be cool.
Do you have any shout-outs or anybody work that you would like to talk about?
Anybody's other rebuild? Let's see. So if you're not reading Electric Black, read Electric Black. Really good anthology story. They have a Kickstarter right now. I really, really recommend that. Kyron's going to come back with Sob. It's XOB. I really, really like that story. He's the Lightning Wizard. He does some really cool stuff. Really excited to see where he goes this year. What else do we got? Who's doing some cool things? White Ash is always good. I love his Kickstarter. Tart, if you've never read Tart. So those are the guys to kind of keep out for. There's a lot of us in the indie scenes who are really hitting the market. Oh, AWA. So they're a new publisher that just came out last week. They have 4 books that came out. AWA is Artists, Writers, and Artisans is the name of the company. So they got J. Michael Straczynski writing a book. They got John Lees, which is fantastic. He wrote a book called Hotel. It's spelled Hell. That's a really cool book if you like horror. Those are some books to pick up that I think are going to be gold mines. So if you're a collector, those are ones that you're going to want to pick up now because people are going to be talking about them. And I think they're going to be hard to come by because of the situation that we're in right now.
Okay. Any shout-outs? Then we're going to close out the interview.
Shout-outs. I think I just did those shout-outs. Right. I mean, always shout out Chuck. Chuck Panera is good. You know, I like Rob Anderson. I think he's a great creator. If he does more Cat Dad and Supermom, I'll be really happy. I'm not big into the Barbara stuff, but it's not really. I'm not the target market. Right. So, who else? else? I like Eric Hawkins. He's doing some cool stuff. His Zombieful World of Oz is coming out later this year. David Galdino, The Savage Bastards, picked that up. Jonathan Hendricks, Capable, picked that up. So those are the people who I recommend.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on, Travis.
No problem.
All right.